It looks like he's going to get cut. I don't see anybody offering a first-round pick for him.
Well, how do you know that?
Well,
are you inside the Browns? I don't know.
No. Well, why haven't they?
Well, who knows? Maybe they're about to.
We don't know why haven't they?
We're early in the game. It just started.
They just started?
Yes, it did.
No, hold on.
They just signed Deshaun Watson. What was it, like 3 days ago?
3 days ago. They've been openly talking about, so that's when you could have moved in and could have got him.
They might be moving as we speak.
Yeah, you're hoping they're moving.
Well, I don't know.
You know why? Because it's going to really look bad for you because you were gloating just 6 months ago that Odell Beckham got cut.
He got cut. Jarvis got cut.
Austin Hooper got
cut.
Baker Mayfield about to get cut.
Is he really?
Because I'm trying to, help me understand this, Skip. If Baker Mayfield is what you said, why is $19 million a deterrent when the going rate for a quarterback is $40 to $45 million? Baker Mayfield is about to make $19 million.
How do you know it's a deterrent? No, how do you know? I don't know that.
So why haven't the Steelers given up that first-round pick then?
It's called playing chicken. It's called negotiating. It's called the game has only just begun.
How much do you want to bet they will not get a first-round draft pick for Baker Mayfield?
I don't know.
No. I don't know. It's a simple.
Okay, it's reported that they are digging in, demanding a first.
How much are you willing? How much are you willing to wager that Baker Mayfield will not command a first-round draft pick for his services?
Well, the problem is the market just got reset by your Atlanta Falcons. They just said, "Here, you want Matt Ryan, who just the other day it feels like was the MVP of this league." It was 5 years ago, but Matt Ryan just got a team 5 years ago to 28-3 up in the Super Bowl, right? They just gave him to Indy. They said, "Here, you can have him for a third-round pick."
Carson Wentz. You said Baker Mayfield is better than Carson Wentz.
Oh, he's definitely.
Okay,
Do you disagree?
He went for a second.
Well, he went for
a second.
Yeah.
A second.
Wasn't it two? Didn't they do two?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Baker Mayfield should command at least 2 twos at bare minimum.
He might before this is all over.
You're hoping. First of all, I don't care what you say. I don't care if he does get. It's embarrassing that the #1 overall pick is having this kind of difficulties.
Embarrassing? I don't think it's embarrassing at all.
So how many other #1 overall draft picks had this kind of problem?
Okay, the problem is it's called musical chairs, and just about everybody has filled their chair with a quarterback, and all of a sudden Baker gets stuck.
Skip, how does Baker get stuck if he's what you said he is?
Well, we don't know yet. Well, the market is dwindling because there's no market because they already got filled.
Skip.
He got screwed. That's what happened.
There's always a market if you need something.
Yes. Well, how many do need?
Skip, the housing market, when you go on the coast, be it Florida or you go, Austin, Texas, yes. If you're willing to pay, you can get an apartment or you can get a house. So don't give me this notion that there is not a market. If you're good, let me ask you a question. If the Kansas City Chiefs cut Patrick Mahomes, is there a market?
Well, obviously.
Why so well? You keep telling me
now
Baker
you're going
Mayfield
to the top. I said he's the edge of top 10. He's better than Dak to me. He just is. You don't like Dak at all.
Dak Prescott is 2 times, 3 times, 4 times better than Baker Mayfield.
Oh, really? You've called Dak Prescott average, but you have called, I'm going to hold you to this, you call Baker Mayfield a bust. So we're going to see if the bust gets a job, and we're going to see if he starts to succeed elsewhere. Yes, he will.
Dak Prescott was a, 4th-round draft pick? Okay, Dak Prescott was a 4th-round draft pick, got a new contract.
You have dismissed him as below average. Below average.
Skip, I didn't see. There you go. See, you just see what you do in order to, because you're so upset, you dug in.
I'm not upset.
Because you said Baker was going to be this larger-than-life figure.
I never said that. I just said he should be the first pick in the draft. Was I right about that?
Skip.
So wait a second. You were the guy who said Sam Darnold's the best quarterback.
Sam Darnold has a job.
Okay. Is he still the best quarterback in the draft? I need to know. I need you to go on record. Were you right or wrong about Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold has a job.
Well, for a moment he does.
Your guy doesn't have a job for the moment.
Well, they just picked a top 3 quarterback to replace him. I got no problem with that.
Why would they even want a top 3 quarterback if you're that guy?
I love Deshaun way more than you love Deshaun coming out of Clemson.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
Skip, you know the only reason I went against Deshaun Watson, he was playing against Alabama. Everybody knows how I feel about Alabama. But I was surprised that he wasn't the first or the second quarterback taken. I'm looking at, Mitchell Trubisky. How hell Mr. Trubisky go before Deshaun Watson? So no, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. But back to your guy. Baker Mayfield is going to have a hard time. Cleveland Browns are going to have a hard time getting a first round for Baker Mayfield. Why? Because they know you got to get rid of him. Skip, I'm not giving you even if fair market price is a first rounder or a second rounder. Why would I give you that when I know you got to get up off it? Because at the end of the day, if I know somebody's if they don't make these payments, they go into bankruptcy, but they're trying to sell the house, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give you market value because I know, guess what? I'll just go get him off. You cut him, I'll just go get him off the street. I'm not going to give you market value, and that's where Baker is. But I'm just trying to figure out why would he even find himself in this position if he's what you said he is.
Well, I just said because they just acquired a top 3 quarterback, right? And when that happens, as we talked about, when does a top 3 quarterback at 26 years of age even come available? Well, it took his off the field to make him available. Took Deshaun's off the field, and it's still hanging over his head. And that's why at the 11th hour, Cleveland was able to swoop back in. Actually, they didn't swoop. Actually, Deshaun's camp swooped back into Cleveland because Deshaun's camp realized, wait a second, New Orleans is getting cold feet about us, and Atlanta still wants us, but they don't want to guarantee anything. They don't want to take any risk, any plunge here on us.
Skip, here's the thing, Skip, what you fail to realize, he was about to enter a deal that was going to pay him 4 years, $146 million. All Cleveland did is add a year and give him $84 million more. So all Atlanta had to do is say, we'll take him on, we'll trade that. So it wasn't...
No, they didn't just do that. They guaranteed every penny of it.
Skip.
They guaranteed $230 million.
Let me ask you a question.
Trust me, Arthur Blank fell out of his chair because he didn't want to guarantee much of anything.
Skip, so how much money of the 146 that he was going to get over the next 4 years do you think Deshaun Watson would have gotten?
To guarantee? That was the sticking point, was how much will we guarantee?
Yeah, the guarantee was already there. The mechanism was already in place for the first 2 years. So he was already going. He
would get the sort of the standard amount of guaranteed money, but not $230 million.
Right. I'm saying, Skip, but
remember, he said no to Cleveland, and they had to go back to Cleveland and say, "Hey, would you guys like to make a second offer?" Yeah.
Think about what you said. They had to make a second offer add a year for $84 million. If Baker Mayfield is even close to what you think, they say, nah, we good with Baker. So think about what they had to do just in order to get Deshaun after he told them no. Normally when somebody tells you no at the altar, you don't go back and marry them and say, this is what I'll do. Because the diamond wasn't big enough, I'm going to buy you a 50-carat diamond ring instead of the 5-carat that I have. Instead of going away to the Amalfi Coast for 2 weeks, we're going away for 2 months. That's what they did to Deshaun because they did not believe in him. And from the looks of things, there aren't very many other teams that believe in him.
That's absolutely false, what you just said, because Mary Kay Cabot, the ultimate source in Cleveland, reported that the Browns were full speed ahead with Baker and felt good about him coming back off surgery.
After, Skip, what? So let me ask you a question. Did Mary Kay Cabot say they felt comfortable going forward with Baker Mayfield before or after the Deshaun Watson?
Well, obviously after.
Okay, then.
He's top 3. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
If you give me a choice and you say, do you want Tom Brady or not? I think I'll take Tom Brady.
So let me ask you a question. Okay, he's top 3. They moving off Joe Burrow? They moving off Justin Herbert? They moving off Josh Allen?
Throw Tom Brady. Go to the top of the heap. The best quarterback in football last year was Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. If you got a chance to get him next year, I'm taking Tom Brady. If I'm in Cleveland and I have a chance at Brady, I'm taking Brady.
But Brady wasn't available.
Okay, well, Deshaun suddenly was. So they said, God, we got a shot at that. But she's reporting they were actually very comfortable going forward with Baker.
But Skip, after they felt they were not going to be able to get to Deshaun.
Okay, but what you're talking about apple to orange here?
No.
Because their orange is pretty good.
No. Skip.
Okay, so let's just get this back on the record because you just dismissed this. You canceled Baker Mayfield like he's never done anything in his career. You make it out like he's just some other Johnny Manziel who actually started a grand total of 8 games for the Cleveland Browns and went 2-6. That's Johnny Manziel.
That's not what I did, Skip.
Okay, what Baker Mayfield did was he lit up the sky in Cleveland as a rookie. He won 6 games. Remember?
Wow.
Okay. Oh, wait a second. Wow, Mr. Wow. Well, why were they able to draft Baker Mayfield that year? Why? Help me out. Oh, they had the worst record in football.
Yes.
Is that right? They had the best pick in the draft.
Yes.
They were number 1 overall because they were the worst team.
Correct.
Okay. So Hugh Jackson screws him in training camp and bumps him down to second. And I'm sitting watching Hard Knocks saying, what are you doing to this kid? He's way better than Tyrod. Just let him go. He will ignite your locker room. And he did. He won 6 games. And you say, oh, 6 games? Well, guess what they won the year before? They were horrible.
Probably 1 game.
Okay, they were 1 game.
I think that was the year.
I think they won.
He came a year after Myles Garrett, though, right?
Yeah.
I think he came a year after Myles Garrett.
They won 1 game, right?
Right.
Well, whatever. They had the worst record in football. My point is, he won 6 games, and he was 3rd in the league in what Pro Football Focus rates as big-time throws. And I'm saying, wow, look at that. And the second year comes around, and you loved him. You jumped on the bandwagon. Shake and bake, baby. And then here we go. And in the 4th year, after Odell finally went down and out, knocking on wood, God bless Odell, but after he went down, Baker just took off. He led them to their first playoff win in 26 years. He won a playoff game. So Baker's record in the postseason is 1-1. Just for the record, Deshaun's record in the postseason is 1-2.
Right.
1-2 versus 1-1. Deshaun's record as a starter is now 28-25. Well, again, it's not great. Are you sure about Deshaun? I love Deshaun, but are you sure the track record screams give him $230 million guaranteed? No, really. He has proven what in this league? Help me out.
He's gone.
What has he proven in this league? No,
He went to 3 Pro Bowls.
Okay.
He led the league in passing.
1-2 in the postseason? Really?
So hold on. What is Baker proven?
Okay, well, he's 1-1. He went to their arch rival, which brings us back to the reason we're doing this topic. He went to Pittsburgh as an underdog at Pittsburgh, and he had a QBR of 91 on a scale of 0 to 100. In his first playoff game, he went 91, and they won 48-37. And whoa, that made them 8-3 over that stretch. He had 20 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions,
Right.
and again, I didn't hear anything from you at that point about how he was a bust because nobody thought he was a bust at that point. But everybody wants to not only diminish that, they want to expunge that from his record.
So what happened in the second playoff game?
Okay, they went to Kansas City and played the best team.
Whoa. You see, what you're leaving out something. You remember Patrick Mahomes got knocked out. Chad Henne was the quarterback. He couldn't beat Chad Henne.
Okay, all right. But he beat Ben Roethlisberger, and he beat the Steelers defense when it was riding high.
We saw Ben. Ben retired.
Okay,
Ben
we're going back 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a team that had won 11
straight.
Yeah,
and what did I say in the process of them winning 11 straight? What did I say?
Okay. Well, I know what Mike Tomlin is saying. Baker Mayfield might be available. Well, let's go.
But after what? We want him after he gets what?
Okay, but that's negotiating. Surely, yeah, they'd love to get him for nothing because they think Cleveland's up against it right now. Because Cleveland's they just committed $230 million to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So let's wait because we don't have any reason not to wait. We might as well wait. We're stuck with Mitchell Trubisky. Help me out. Do you like Baker Mayfield better than Mitchell Trubisky?
I'll take Mitchell Trubisky.
Would you really?
I sure would. Because he led a team to the playoffs. Did he not?
He's 0-2 in the postseason.
Hold on. He would have won the game. Hold on. He would have won the game had the kicker not kicked the ball, hit the upright.
Okay.
Did you forget that?
I didn't forget that, but he is 0-2 because that's what his record says he is 0-2. Baker has 1 win. Deshaun has 1 win in the postseason.
Well, Jimmy G got 3 or 4 with playoff wins.
All right. Do you like Jimmy G better?
Yes.
No, I don't. I love
Baker he led a team to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So the point is, Mike Tomlin's saying, gee, I could have Baker Mayfield. But Mike Tomlin is also saying, well, maybe we should wait until the draft and let's see what falls to us in the draft because he must start to like Malik Willis because we're going to talk about him a little later in the show, but he was sensational in his pro day. A lot of quarterbacks are sensational in their pro day.
It's hard to stake it up your pro day.
I've seen it once or twice. I saw...
With Teddy Bridgewater because he tried to throw with no gloves.
Yeah, I guess that's the only one that was really shaky.
Right.
But most light it up.
Yeah.
Alex Smith got a standing ovation at the end of his program.
It's scripted, Skip. I'm going to throw all the plays that I want. I'm working with the receivers that I've worked with basically my college career.
Yep. Kyle, I should have been a bowler, as I call him, once a Baltimore Raven. At his pro day, he kneeled down. He was on his knees at the 50-yard line and threw it between the uprights. And everybody said, let there be Kyle Bowler, right? And what happened? Well, he just
You're not going to be throwing very many balls from you in the NFL.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Yeah. All right. So the point is, Mike Tomlin's saying, I kind of like this Malik Willis. I don't know how much he loves him, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But obviously they're saying, well, is he going to fall to us at 20, or is somebody just going to jump the gun on us and go up to the top of the draft? Is somebody going to be sitting up there like Carolina at 6 and just say, we're stuck with Sam Darnold, guy you loved before the draft. We're stuck with him. Maybe we should just plunge on Malik. Let's see if he's our future. Or maybe they'll decide to opt out of that. Maybe the draft will go a different way. Maybe Baker comes into play, because at some point the Baker Derby is going to heat back up. Trust me on this. When you've won a playoff game in this league, when you've done as much as he has done, it will come back around full force.
The Baker that you're talking about keeps burning the bread in the kitchen. So the Cleveland Browns said, we got to get you up out the kitchen because we can't make no profit because you keep burning the bread.
Okay.
Now, you keep talking about this Baker, and all I see is a guy that keep making progressive commercials.
Okay, I'll give you that. And I said from the start, that was the biggest mistake he made. He has inspired more hate through those commercials than he could ever inspire on the football field.
No, Skip. He's inspired hate because he's not played very well.
Okay, well, last year in game number 2, he wrecked his shoulder. He fractured it, and he tore the labrum, and he should have just said, I'm out.
Okay, that's what
he sucked it up, and he kept gutting it out and playing because he's a gamer, he's a baller, and he just kept on keeping on, and it was probably a mistake. He shouldn't have tried to die for the cause, because that's basically what he did.
All I'm saying is this. It's going to be very embarrassing if he's cut in his rookie contract as the number 1 overall pick. So I hope he gets compensation. Now, Carson Wentz, if my notes are right, the Commanders gave up 2 third-rounders.
That's what it was. I said 2
Right,
thirds.
2 thirds.
Yeah.
So it seems, Skip, that's the going rate. Matt Ryan, a third-round pick. Walk it to him, 2 third-round picks.
Yep.
That seems to be the going rate, unless you're a Russell Wilson, or we see some of these, we saw last year Jared Goff go for 2 1s, Russell went for 2. That seems to be the going rate of what a quarterback is now. Matt Ryan, a third, Carson Wentz, 2 thirds. I think Baker, and I said yesterday, I believe a third-round pick is what he's going to go for.
Okay, so this reminds me of the old baseball theory that started back in 2001, in the days I covered more of baseball. Remember, it was Alex Rodriguez was signed by the Texas Rangers out of the blue.
Yeah.
Tom Hicks owned the Rangers at that point, and they started calling it the one nut theory. All it takes is one nut out there, and all of a sudden you just blow the top off the market.
Yes.
Alex got $252 million to go to the Texas Rangers, and everybody said, you're bidding against yourself.
Right.
Well, what are you doing?
Right.
Why would you do that?
Right.
Well, you could make the same case on Deshaun. Now, I like Deshaun's value a whole lot more than I liked Alex's at that point in his career, because he's not a pitcher, right? But he's a star, and Tom Hicks wanted the star power of Alex Rodriguez to fill the stands in Arlington, Texas.
Right.
Okay, so I get that, but now we go to the one nut theory. This is Jimmy Haslam says, I just need a quarterback. I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to take any risk, any plunge.
Right.
Well, there's huge risk involved here because, again, I love Deshaun, but he hasn't proven it at the highest level. It's not like he's coming in with 2 rings or 4 rings or 6 Brady rings. Right?
But see, like you said, now you're going to the well, he's not Peyton Manning. Well, he's not Tom Brady. Well, hell, there are no other quarterbacks that were those guys.
Okay, well, that's what you've been doing to me with Baker, right?
Well, I'm just saying Baker's the guy.
All right, but Deshaun effectively has proven nothing to me.
Skip.
At the highest level, he has proven nothing.
Skip, he's been to 3 Pro Bowls.
Okay.
The players and the coaches says he's one of the 3 best quarterbacks in our conference.
If you could replace pro with super, you got me. But,
Skip, come
okay,
on now.
well, come on now.
Well, hold on. So why hadn't Baker been to all those Pro Bowls?
They just shattered the market for quarterback money. There's nothing remotely like this.
But if the Pro Bowl is so easy, why hasn't Baker been to 3?
Okay, well, the point is, by the way, I love Kyler Murray. He's been to 2, so that's pretty good,
That's
right?
not 3.
Yeah, you don't like Kyler Murray.
Hold on. Deshaun Watson went to the Pro Bowl every year he was a full starter.
Yeah, I love him. I loved him more than you did coming out of college. I said, I'm good with him. I said, I'm good with this.
Yep.
But they went so far, they plunged so hard that they're at some risk here because he does have the 22 suits hanging over him, and we don't know how that's going to affect him psychologically going forward as a football player. My guess is it won't affect him at all, but I don't know that for a fact because there's some X factor in here now.
What's going to affect Baker? Being cut, being the number one overall pick and being cut.
Okay, we're doing Deshaun right now. And the point is that you're plunging on money, and remember, they just gave up 3 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
So they reset the market high.
But you just said, you told me since we've been on the air that there's not a number that's too valuable for a quarterback if he's the guy.
Yeah, if you're right about that.
So you don't.
Okay, so now he's going to miss probably, I'm going to guess, half of next year.
Okay.
Maybe 6 games, maybe 8 games, but about half of next year. So he's going to be out of football for a year and a half.
Right.
Are you now sure he's going to bounce right back and be Deshaun again? Well, you can't be absolutely
There's
certain.
no absolutes in sports. You know that.
I do know
but
that.
hold on. You love Deshaun more than I did when he was coming out. Now you're uncertain about what he might be.
I'm just saying that they went so far. No quarterback has ever had this kind of compensation awarded for him, right? It reset the bar.
It did.
Right?
It's long overdue, and now the contracts are starting to become fully guaranteed. This Deshaun Watson was neat, and I hate that what's circulating around him off the field with all the accusations, all the allegations. But what he did for the NFL players with guaranteed money cannot be understated.
I agree. He broke their bank.
Yes.
And he reset the way you look at quarterback compensation, except Matt Ryan just undercut it because they just gave him to Indy for a 3rd-round pick.
But Skip, Skip, we've seen 37-year-olds come available. We've never seen a 26-year-old come available. So now you see Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray said Deshaun got $230 guaranteed. What I'm going to get? Lamar Jackson says I'm an MVP, something that Deshaun does not have on his resume. What am I worth? And then it's going to be a trickle-down effect, Skip. I hate using trickle-down economics, but this is a trickle-down effect because every quarterback that comes after this is going to be $230 fully guaranteed and beyond. And that's going to be thanks to Deshaun Watson. But back to our originally scheduled programming, which is Baker Mayfield, I'm trying to understand, why is $19 million a deterrent for a first-round pick if he's the guy when he plays the most important position in pro sports and he's that dog like you said he is?
Okay, well, all I know is I believe what I believe, and I'm not going to back off that. And I believe you will be proven wrong, but it may take a while because now we'll probably have to wait until after the draft to see what shakes out because a lot of these teams, or aren't many left, but the teams that are saying, well, should we start over at quarterback? They may want to see how it falls in the draft. Will they get a Kenny Pickett? Will they get a Malik Willis? How will it shake out? And then they'll say, well, wait a second, Baker Mayfield is available. We got to give up a 1 for him. We just got to go ahead and plunge and take him.
You want to bet he doesn't go for a 1?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, by the time Baker...
see, I can't control that.
Great stuff this morning, guys.
I mean, by the time Baker...
Wednesday off on the hot seat.
Jen,
and don't forget, Jimmy G's still out there, too.
Jen, before we go, before Baker proves me wrong, we're going to be like Murray Povich. We're going to be retired. 31 years on the air, Skip.
No, it'll happen sooner than you want it to happen. So he will make you eat crow.
He's going for a 1.
Yeah,
a 1.
I don't know if he'll go for 1. I can't control that. They're all fools if they don't give a 1 for him because he's worth 2 1s. He's worth 2 1s.
Jenny, take us to break. He hallucinating out here.
No.
You guys are never going to agree on this. We'll see how it all shakes out. The future will tell.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.